How to Create a Glitch, Monologues. Season 2. Chapter 3. This is the third episode of Season 2 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues. In this episode, I'm going to be diving into an entirely new topic and drawing some comparisons between the operation of a social system and musical theory. So, to start off, I discussed in previous podcasts and in the book How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix, how social tension manifests as a lack of mirroring between two individuals interacting in a social environment. Now, starting out with two individuals, you can say that one of the individuals will always be tonic and the other will always be dominant. Essentially, what that means is one individual will maintain a stable level of social tension through their expressed actions, words and movements, and the other individual will excite or create social tension, which is alleviated by the tonic. So, the role of the tonic is to maintain a specific low level of social tension within the interaction. The role of the second individual, the dominant, is to create social tension, which is then alleviated by the tonic. Now you can take this bidirectional relationship and apply the same principles to larger groups of interacting people. But the point of essentially getting that is that individuals who interact in a social setting, the social tension manifests as a result of them forming dialectical or idiosyncratic postures and posing divergent postures and posing, which ultimately creates discordance between their expectation fields, consonance re-established by the formation of mirroring as between those two individuals. But those are the principles by which social tension is managed. But the existence of postural releases also plays a role, and specifically postural releases involve the giving in of one individual to the other party, to their social status within the social environment, and the transitioning of divergent or antithetical postures and posing to a consonant or mirroring one. Now, generally, it would be the tonic individual who is mirrored and the dominant individual who exhibits postural releases. Now you can apply the same principles to larger groups of socially interacting people, but obviously there can only be one dominant and one tonic individual. Otherwise, individuals can form other positions, such as a subtonic or on another position within the tonal interaction. Now, once we establish this principle of understanding how socially people interact, we can then expand the idea and say that the existence of tonal qualities in the socially interacting groups is a reflection of the underlying musical structure relied upon or maintained in the media of a given culture or populace. So just as individuals are calibrated, as in the first episode of this season, by trends in the population in fashion, style, art, music, media, so too does the structure by which the musical art form manifests in a population or which predominates in a population reflect the underlying structure of individual social interactions within that social organization. So just as we can say that the population is calibrated by the trends in fashion, music, art, film, theater emotionally by recreating events in the past or styles, I should say in the past, or art forms in the past, or fashion in the past. So too can the musical structure, which predominates in a given era, reflect the underlying conditions and manner by which social organization manifests. Now, I'd like to jump into another topic as it relates to tonal form in this particular analysis. Now, attraction is also a principle in music, just as it is a principle in human dynamics. And one can say that the attraction between the tonic and the dominant at any two particular notes in a specific piece of music is a reflection of certain qualities or characteristics which have been elaborated in musical theory. But suffice it to say that when an individual transitions from a state of lower tension to higher tension and cycles through those states, we see the same characteristic of attraction between that individual and another individual, reflective of the tension which is dissipated or created or cycled through as part of the process of the social exchange. The principles underlying musical theory can be used to assert certain characteristics and qualities about socially interacting group in the manner by which they interact. Now, the same can be said for any other culture or any other civilization or society. The music and the structure of the music that it relies upon can in some way reflect the underlying dynamic of the social exchanges among its populace. It's reasonable to assert that in a population which does not exhibit the same qualities of tonal music, the music of that society or that culture is likely not going to display the same characteristics as the musical forms. Anyway, thank you for listening. That's the end of this podcast.